Hey Facebook, how are ya? Happy Sunday. I am on my way home from picking up some ice cream and some bare essentials at the grocery store, like a cantaloupe for my pregnant wife, and some bananas and some applesauce for lunches when we send our kids to school tomorrow on Monday. And I was thinking about something because I spent a lot of time with my 3 boys today. And my wife just joined. I got the ice cream, babe. I'm coming home. I'm parked in the parking lot. And I spent some time with my kids today, and I was thinking about schooling and education and things like that. So in our household, we talk about business a lot. Some people think maybe I would be pushing business too much on my kids. And I don't really want to do that, because if they don't want to be entrepreneurs or anything like that, that's completely fine. I support it 100%. But in the educational system, because I just spent over an hour listening to podcasts on some pretty high-level stuff like SaaS businesses and just crazy interviews with these CEOs and just trying to glean any information I can glean to learn something. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks how scary it is for people going through regular education that are still being indoctrinated with the concept that your job is to go to school, cram information into your brain, and then regurgitate the information when there's a test due to, test your ability to short-term memorize, content. And then if you get a good grade, you can go to college and do the same thing all over again. And then you can get a good job, quote unquote, whatever that means, and, retire. And that idea was valid a long time ago, but it's not valid anymore. Like, things are changing. Like, it's crazy, but I don't feel like the educational system is adapting anywhere even close to the way that the market is actually changing. So for your kids, for your teenagers, for your little kids, I view it as critical that we teach them the basics, because all the people I'm friends with on Facebook here are small business owners. You got to start talking to them early about value creation, about over-delivering, about serving other people. To get what they want, they have to help other people get what they want. And all these different things, financial management and cash flow and investment and ROIs and all these things. You can teach little kids these concepts, and I think it's super powerful. And it comes second nature to me because I'm obsessed with it. But a lot of people I know don't do it. And I am not bashing educators at all. I have lots of friends that are teachers and things like that. It's a calling. It's awesome. These people love children. They do everything they can. But the system itself, the architecture of it, the framework, it's too big and thick and bureaucratic, and it can't adapt quick enough, in my opinion. It can't adapt quick enough to help these kids succeed. In the economy, everything is different. There's no such thing as a secure job. Not that there maybe ever really totally was, but that idea was valid more, and now it's completely obsolete. It doesn't exist. Like, you have to market yourself even as an employee. If you want to even get a job at all, you have to learn marketing and persuasion and sales and all these other things. You have to understand an array of skill sets. And I think the days of being good at one particular thing are coming to an end. I read a study about millennials and the fact that they're going to have between, I think it was like 9 to 15 careers during their career path or whatever. And for my grandfather's generation, it was like 2 or something. And I totally probably screwed up the numbers on that. It doesn't matter. I think it's all very obvious and evident to most of us that entrepreneurship, being able to adapt, being able to write code. Joe Kowalski's on here, and I was talking to him. I have my kids going to code.org. It's a free website, and they just started. Like, they can't write code, but it teaches them basic if-then concepts and just the logic that they're going to absolutely need to survive and thrive and win in the way the world's going. You have to, code is going to be like knowing English. It's going to be like a requirement if you want to perform at a high level. It's just a baseline thing. They're not teaching that stuff in elementary school, and they should. They should. And so it's not about pushing or indoctrinating or hammering your kids to follow in your path if you're a business owner. If my kid wants to be a teacher, I'll be their biggest cheerleader in the world. But they're going to become a teacher and understand how to deliver value and how to build an audience and how to over-deliver and how to understand margins and investment and managing people and leadership and servant leadership and all these other things. Anything I can think of, I'm going to give to them. And so what I did today is I announced to them something I've been waiting a really long time. It's probably a little too early still, but I couldn't wait. I'm going to pay them $50 to do book reports on these select kid-appropriate business books. So I'm going to create a little library of business books that they have access to, and it will push the limits on their ability, because my oldest is only 10 years old. And they read it on their downtime, and then they present to me a full-page book report explaining what they learn and what they understand and all those things. And I'm going to pay them for it. So do I give my kids allowance? No, I don't give my kids allowance. I know, my wife. I gotta get the ice cream to my wife. I don't give my kids allowance. I will never give my kids allowance, because that's not reality. That's not a real thing. That's just a fake thing that doesn't exist. You have to produce to earn dollars. Dollars is just the results of the value that you provide to somebody somewhere. So that's it. I haven't done a Facebook Live in a while, and I felt relatively inspired on that. So thank you. Joe, we're considering homeschooling too when we move into our new house. It's almost like I feel we have no choice but to do it, because I want them to learn certain things that they're not going to get. And when they're spending 35 hours a week somewhere else, yeah, they need to learn to read and write and arithmetic and basic stuff, but we can teach them that stuff. So I don't know. This wasn't a political statement or something, but we need to financially educate our children to the new economy, because things are changing so stinking fast. The last thing I'll say is this. The rate of change right now is freaking me out, okay? Because you look at human history from Christ, okay, around 0 to 2017, where it is now, okay? To me, it's a relatively flat line, technologically speaking, with the markets and the way that business works. It's pretty flat. And when you get around the Industrial Revolution, it starts to hockey stick. It starts to go up, right? Well, that was an incredible world-changing thing. But now with the technological stuff and processing and the cloud and quantum computing and artificial intelligence and all the stuff that's coming really fast, it's even more of a hockey stick. It's absolutely insane how quickly things are changing. And so I just think you need to know that, if you hadn't thought of it. So get on Amazon and get some business books or something. Send your kids to code.org or something. Get the Robert Kiyosaki has a board game called Cash Flow for Kids or something. I used to have the original one. Teach them how to invest and how to grow and how to learn and adapt and be flexible. Do it. I'm coming with the ice cream, Ashley. See you in a minute.